Saturday sunrise, 24 of 52. 24 of 52. I'm learning a lot with these numbers. It's kind of cool. Sorry guys, got a somewhere special to go today, so this is going to be a quick one. But so we've kind of mapped out all from the alphas all the way down to the zetas, and we kind of created this 1 week sit down with all of them for a little while to figure out which one you are. But really what I want to discuss today is the problem widths, okay? So for example, alphas are amazing, but the problem with the alpha is they'll never ask for help. They'll never ask for help. And they tend to need to be seen, so the worst thing you can do to an alpha is not see them, right? The worst thing you can do to an omega is not hear them. They feel the need to be heard. You can even see the difference between alpha and omega is, you'll understand most alphas, if they will believe what they see, versus omegas, you kind of feel like, well, let's hear them out. That's something you tend to say. Well, let's hear them out. Let's see what they have to say. You're one of those types of people, right? And that's a wonderful place to be because it's helpful to know which one it is you are. Another really horrible thing you could do to an omega is add more work to their load. Okay, they do not like that. Okay, they do not like that. They already feel like they're doing a lot, and then adding more work to their load is not going to help the situation. In fact, if you want to get in the good graces of an omega, lessen their load somehow. That would be my suggestion. Next, we have gammas. Gammas really don't have many issues. Honestly, they're super happy-go-lucky, very learned, very educated, very traveled and experienced people. They want to experience more. What is there not to experience? They tend to be limitless in that way. But the worst thing you could do to a gamma is disrespect them. Okay? You cannot disrespect the gamma. It is not the smart way to get on their good graces. So you figure out a way to regain respect if you've already lost it, or go out of your way and find a different common ground, and then again, reestablish that respect one way or another. Build a bridge if you have to. Then betas. Betas are seriously some of the most underestimated personalities there are. The support that they have, the way they read the room, the way that they're compassionate and they are forward thinking for sure. They tend to more or less trust their gut, because they're willing to put in the effort for research, and they tend to be meticulous in some ways, and in other ways, they may not, again, have like a singular focus, but they are very good at team stuff, Betas, the worst thing you can do to a beta is not understand them. The best thing you could do to a beta is try to see them the way that they wished they were, not the way they are. I know it sounds bizarro, but, if someone wants to be a rock star, start acting like they actually have the potential to be one, not in a fallacy sort of way, but truly, make sure your cues to them are forward in that career situation, not pulling back from, because if they don't feel supported, they're okay with failure, to be honest. Failure is great for them because they'll be like, okay, well, at least I give my everything, and then I'll step back and then I'll redirect, Betas are really good at pivoting. Very good. And for the most part, it is harder to play a supportive role than in a lead role sometimes, and they're highly misunderstood for that one factor, highly misunderstood. Again, they have this sort of quiet gut instinct about them. They tend to read people and the room really well. I would imagine betas make amazing poker players. Because it takes a huge observancy component to it, For a little while, I thought I was a beta, I guess when I was a kid, I could just sit. If someone told me to sit somewhere, I could just sit there for hours and hours and hours and observe everything. And I would be fine. I would be content. I loved people watching. I like to make observations. I was a quiet kid, and I always have kind of been. I actually blew my client Dennis's mind when I told him that. He did not believe that I was a quiet kid at all. But, when I started training, I think my calling came to me and kind of opened up and blossomed a little bit there. Deltas. With deltas, I urge deltas to change. That's it. I mean, they are barely existing, so I don't care which one of the other ones you are, just don't be a delta, don't barely just exist. And even your symbol, delta symbols, is a triangle, which is subject to change, right? That is exactly the definition of what the symbol for delta is, but that's how that kind of focus is there. The worst thing you can do to a sigma is capsulate them, box them up, hear them out, even if roll your eyes, if you will. Sigmas don't give a shit, if you want to roll your eyes, roll your eyes. But the worst thing you can do to a sigma is block their vision, and I think the best way to handle a sigma would be to just be hands up in the air and be look, this person's a rogue agent, but they have a good intent versus bad intent, rogue agents with a bad intent would be serial killers, but rogue agents with good intent can, play Homeland Security, so it's all about intent, vision is not always a bad thing, but it is a feared thing. So I think it's a matter of just learning how to fail over and over again and get good at failure. So good that, every single time you start the next mistake, it's a little bit different, a little bit more solidified. Actually, there's a quote I heard from Winston Churchill that gave me tingles. And I'll see if I can find it. I do not want to misquote it because it is that good. And it's all about failure and the importance of moving forward with it, And then Zetas. So here's the thing with Zetas. No one can bring down a Zeta. You could try all you want to. It's just not going to be possible. First of all, there are not many Zetas in this world. There just are not many Zetas in this world. I don't know about you, but after I read this post that I will also add to this link here, I've been feeling a little lighter, and there are some Zetas that, when their world doesn't feel good, the entire world has this sort of mugginess to it, and I promise you, when I read this post that Jamie McElroy put up, my days just started feeling a little bit lighter for some reason. Zetas kind of have that effect on people, Jamie and Eric McElroy, they're super Zetas, all about love, all about positivity, all about remaining in the course and starting your own origin story and doing the best you can to be brave for those who need you to be brave for them and quiet for those who need you to be quiet for them, and have, ridiculous battles ahead still, so hearts out to them in that situation. But the worst thing a Zeta can do, and the only person that can impact a Zeta is themselves. Okay, so Zeta, listen, I'm going to tell you is if you don't know how to charge yourself, you are going to be your own saboteur. You need to know how you are charged. It took me a long time. I mean, I honestly, I still, even every Saturday morning, I still tell myself, nah, I can miss the sunrise. I can do it. But I force myself to get up anyway, because that's just how it is. You kind of have to force yourself to get up and do all the things that you said you would, just because you said you would do it, And so with the Zeta is, I literally, like I said, I feel charged when the sun comes up and my face feels warm. And, I think Marjorie came with me to the sunrise one day and she's like, Sneha, I feel warmer. I was like, I know, that's what happens. So, that's just kind of how it is. So my suggestion to you guys is, if you have these defined situations in your life, or if you've chosen just a category or so to belong to, I'm hoping it'll allow you some respite, some some understanding of yourself. And I think that is my journey. Like, I think I did not understand myself until I went down this rabbit hole, and I'm just uncovering slowly. So it's kind of cool to just be able to uncover with you guys. But Saturday sunrise, we got 24 of 52.